Today we will be analyzing two poems, Dreams and Dreamland, both by the same famous poet, Edgar Allan Poe, who is in the picture in the background. We'll first analyze Dreams by Edgar Allan Poe. When you are analyzing a poem, the first thing you should look for is to find the theme of the poem. To find the theme of the poem, look in the poem to try to find symbolism, line and stanza breaks, punctuation, tone and mood, diction and imagery, and author background that all tie in to make a theme. I used to analyze this poem, and what I used to find the theme of this poem was symbolism, punctuation, tone and mood, and author background. I underlined all the big tone and mood phrases all in blue, and I found that these two lines are very important in developing the theme, and so are the last 5 or 6 lines. And so for these two lines, when it says, "Yes, though that long dream or of hopeless sorrow," which is a strong negative connotation, "'twere better than the cold reality," which is an even more negative connotation. And he's basically saying here that even if he has a nightmare or a really bad dream, it's still better than his unhappy and cold real life when he's awake. And to most of us that might sound like it's a little strange and not normal. And he even agrees with that in the last 6 lines. He says, "Dreams, in their vivid coloring of life, as in the fleeting shadowy mystery strife of semblance with reality, which brings to the delirious eye more lovely things of paradise and love, and all our own, than young hope in his sunniest hour hath ever known." So he's basically calling himself delirious, and he's accepted the fact that he is, for thinking that he can find such happiness in dreams. And he's also saying that he knows it's not normal, but he knows it's only happiness he can find. And we know that from his author background that he's had a very sad life when his 2 parents have died, and so has his wife. And we also know that his life was overall very sad, so we know where this sadness is most likely stemming from in his life. And the punctuation goes with the symbolism here. The symbolism, he symbolizes the pronouns him and his again, and he's saying them as vague pronouns, and those are symbolizing his awake state. So he's distancing himself from his awake state. And I know this is symbolizing his awake state because it says, "To the delirious eye, more lovely things of paradise and love all his own, than young hope in his sunniest hour hath ever known." So, he's saying dreams bring more lovely things than paradise and love, and then more hope than his sunniest hour hath ever known. So he's saying that his waking hour, there's more hope in dreams than there is in his waking hour. And he's also saying of waking life to him whose heart must be. So obviously that's saying something about his awake state, and a chaos from the passion of his birth. So there's a chaos when he's awake. And this ties into the punctuation because, as you can see, there's very little endpoints, and there's a lot of dashes that separate the two lines, and he's doing this so that he can develop what the poem has a dreamlike quality of when you read it out loud. And so he's writing it as if it is a dream, so he is basically distancing himself from his awake state, and he's converting himself to his full dream side. So overall, the theme of this poem is the only way to escape his cold and harsh reality is through dreams, even if the dreams are bad. And what I used in this poem to find out what the theme was punctuation, tone and mood, diction and imagery, and author background. The punctuation in this poem is very strange. There are only full stops at the end of each stanzas in every single stanza, as you can see. So this might represent how, this shows how in this poem everything keeps dragging on, just like how life is for him. And I can see how the diction and tone also solidifies that idea that his life is dragging on, because he says he is alone, the waters are lone and dead. That's showing how he feels that he is also alone and dead, and everything around him is alone and dead, and it's lone, sad. The rivers are murmuring lowly and murmuring ever with the gray woods. All that diction is making has a negative connotation, and he also uses figurative language in his poems so that he can enhance his tone and mood. So over here he personifies the seas and he makes them restlessly aspire, and the waters are personified as lone and dead and sad, which is what he is feeling, so that he improves the tone and mood of the poem just to gear to how he's feeling. And the last part, or the later parts of the poem, are very important to building the theme as well. When he says, "White robed forms of friends long given, um, in agony to earth and heaven." So he's saying those are his friends and family and wife that's passed away. And we know that from his author background, he's had a very sad life, and he had many relatives die away, and like his parents and his wife have all died while he was alive. And he's saying over here, "But the traveling through it may not dare openly view it. So wills his king who hath forbid the uplifting of the fringed head, and thus the sad soul here passes, beholds but through the darkened glasses." He's saying that no matter how hard he tries to see it, he can't, because it's not possible, and he can never really see them again. And over here, he's saying the first part of the poem again, so he's repeating that. So that's when he's really sad. So this is basically saying that he can't ever see them again, and he's always going to be sad because of it. And that is the theme statement, that no matter how hard he tries to see his dead relatives and wife and everyone who's passed away, no matter how hard he tries, he will never be able to see them, and he will always be sad because of it.